Damn, the camera flipped horizontally or vertically, sorry. Makes me look weird. Like I'm you guys, I probably look ugly right now. But I was gonna run right now. And I've been 6 days sober from marijuana. Haven't gotten high in over 6 days. And before that, I think the longest run I had was about a week too. I ain't going back, man. I'm telling you right now, I'm not going back. My mental clarity is starting to come back, because before, there was days where after getting high, I just felt retarded the next day. I felt so stupid and like disconnected from everything. It felt like I was still high, but I wasn't. I was sober, but my mental clarity, since it was gone, I felt like I was high. And it's a shitty feeling. I like to be alert. I like to be aware. And I'm working a job right now. And at this job, it requires me to be alert. It requires me to use a lot of my mental focus. And whenever I'm getting high and stuff, the next days, I just feel like an idiot at work, And I'm like, shit, I'm better than this. I know for a fact, like, my mental capacity is a lot higher than what I'm putting out right now. And I still was giving in to the temptation of weed. It was so hard for me to kick this addiction. People try to claim that, oh, it's not addicting. This is not, it's not like any other drugs. It is. You're just trying to convince yourself of something that, you're trying to make excuses for your fucking habit, when in reality, that it is addicting. It's hard for you to get rid of it. It's hard for you to kick that habit to the curb because you're dependent on it. I don't think it has the same like addictive qualities as like cocaine or like methamphetamine and stuff. Damn, I'm sweaty and gross. I hate running in the cold. But I think that it's still definitely really addicting. You become dependent on it a lot. You want to get high all the time. And it definitely brings out a lot of stuff that is like, it makes life definitely more enjoyable. It does help with stress and stuff. And it is probably one of the healthiest drugs out there. One of the healthiest. Not saying that it is healthy, but it's one of the healthiest alternatives to anything else, alcohol or cocaine or any of that other shit that people be doing. Especially like those nicks and shit, like nicotine. That's like one of the big things right now with people my age, is they're constantly puffing on those things. But, one of the side effects that I've been experiencing from kicking this shit to the curb is just like restlessness. I'm unable to go to sleep. I haven't been able to sleep that good. I've maybe been sleeping like 4 hours every night, 5 hours every night. And I'll wake up and it's just like constant waking up throughout the night. I just can't stay asleep. And I don't know why. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh shit, there's a car coming right now. And they're probably like, this weirdo, he's over here filming himself. God. Oh shit. So, anyways, I was out here. Jeez, I forgot. I lost my train of thought. Uh-oh. That's the weed right there. No, I haven't been able to sleep. It's been kind of hard. And I've been trying to I've been taking melatonin and stuff. Last night I slept good, which is like a good indicator that I'm getting back to like that normal cycle, because I was so dependent on weed to take me to sleep, put me to sleep early. And I wasn't even going to bed that early. I was going to bed at like 1:30 in the morning every night, 2 o'clock in the morning. Now, since haven't been getting high, it's been like 3, 4 in the morning. And it sucks, it's like I want to sleep, I want to get my rest, but I can't because I'm over here depending on weed. And another thing is just like the mental focus, that's one of the big things. I think it's just like, I don't know, people say like, oh, it doesn't do that or it does, but there's been like studies and stuff that show that it does indeed, impair your mind just like any other drug out there. And I feel like it's just an excuse to try to tell yourself, so you can continue to do this bad habit and not feel bad about it when you should feel bad about it. It's preventing you from accomplishing so much more. I've been doing so much more. I've been motivated to want to do videos. And I mean, I still did when I was getting high. I had the motivation to make videos and I still was doing stuff. But now that I'm not, it's like, it's just that extra leap. Like every day that I'm not being productive feels like a wasted day. Like, another day that's gone by that I'm not accomplishing my goals. And I need to push myself to do more, and weed definitely does like slow that down. Even though people say it doesn't, it really does. And I've I've been pushing myself a lot. You know, I've been investing my money. I've been just reading a lot, and I love that shit. You know, I'm expending my mind a lot more than I would have when I was getting high. I would have rather just watched a movie or put on a TV show than have sat there and read a book. God, I hate the cold. It just sucks. I don't know though. I know that a lot of people just like, you know, you could still be productive and smoke weed. I just think it takes a lot of willpower, and you need just like anything in life, it needs to have its limits, you know, it needs to be in moderation. And that's the problem with a lot of things, is like people start doing things and they forget how to like balance out that moderation between it. You know, at first it's like, oh, you know, I'll just get high on the weekends to reduce stress, to, you know, just take the ease off. And after that, it becomes every day. Hold on, I'm gonna cross the road right now. There's a car coming. Hopefully I don't get hit. And people still, it's like, they're just so determined to wanna, like they can't give it up. You know, as soon as you start getting into that habit, you just wanna keep smoking it every day. You wanna keep fucking getting high, because it does make a lot of aspects of life more enjoyable, and definitely makes it more fun. You know, sorry, it's getting dark in here. I'm literally walking through a tunnel. And it's like, that goes for everything, like movies, music, sex, like every aspect of life you can think about. Whenever you're under the influence of something, you know, that goes for alcohol and other shit. I don't know about those other hardcore drugs because I've never tried them, but for weed, at least, I know for a fact, you know, when I'd get high and I'd listen to music, or I'd go see a girl or anything, like, it made it a lot more enjoyable, a lot more fun, and you felt like, I don't know, it's just like this deeper connection. But I feel like it opens up, like, I know people are gonna probably think that I'm crazy or some shit, you know, but ultimately, like, this is just my beliefs. I feel like we're in this like spiritual warfare with bad and good. You know, I have beliefs in like God and stuff, and I feel like whenever you get high, it's almost like you're opening a portal to like the negative energy. You know, you're seeing things, because there would be times where I'd be getting high, right? And I'd see shadows and shit, and like, I'd be like, fuck, like, I'm tripping. Like, there's no way that just happened. And there was one time, I remember this pretty vividly. I was getting high, and I was going out with my friends. I went out cruising on a Friday night, and I was gonna go meet up with them, and I was smoked out of my mind. And I remember driving, and I seen a big black ass dog run in front of my car, and I was like, oh shit. And I pressed the brakes so hard, and I looked, and he was gone, like instantly gone. As soon as I turned my head, like to look for him, he was gone. And there was no way that he disappeared that quick. You know, it was lights out, there was road, I would have seen him, but he was gone just like that. And there was times too where I would just see shadows. I would see a lot of like dark figures and stuff that weren't there, and it would trip me out. I'd be like, why am I seeing these things, you know? And I would ask other people, and some other people would experience the same thing, but then there were those that were like, no, like, you know, like, what the fuck, like, this guy's crazy as hell. But and I would experience a lot of like sleep paralysis as well. For anybody that doesn't know what that is, it's basically what would happen is I'd be getting high, I'd wake up in the night, and I'd be unable to move. I wouldn't be able to move, and I would see shit in my room, you know, and things were vivid, like super vivid of what was going on around me. I had a humidifier in this room, and I would see it changing colors. I would see the clock, everything, what time it was. So obviously I wasn't dreaming. And I would see things in my room, you know, specifically big, dark black figures. And they did not possess that of good energy. I could feel it in my heart that they wanted to harm me. And it was crazy. It was by far one of the crazy. I think the worst one that I ever had was I woke up and there was like 5 of them around my bed. And my girlfriend at the time was laying next to me. And I remember I was trying to like yell and scream, and there was nothing like could come out. I was trying to touch her, and literally like with all the strength in my body, I could not move anything. So I was pretty much just frozen to endure that. And every time it would go away was whenever I would pray. Literally, that was the only way to make it go away. I'd close my eyes and start praying, and then boom, it disappeared. I'd wake up out of it and I'd snap out of it. But I don't know, it's just been crazy. It's a really, really crazy thing. And I'm like, this hadn't happened in a while, but the main thing with this was just like self-improvement, you know? Like, I don't mind going back to it maybe in like a year, 6 months, maybe once every weekend, but I feel like it definitely needs moderation to it, because it does open your mind to a lot of things. You know, there were times where I'd get high and I would realize, but I feel like, you know, maybe these things I would realize when I was sober, but I was just ignoring them, you know, putting them off. And weed was kind of like an eye opener to what I already knew. You know, it was almost like a distraction. Like being sober was a distraction, but getting high was like realizing that, okay, you know, what you're doing is not okay. This is how you need to fix yourself, or, you know, different self-improvement things that I needed in my life that I wasn't pushing myself to do because I just didn't want to do it. You know, we all have those things that we need to accomplish and we need to push ourselves to do, but you just put them off to the side because you don't feel like it, or you don't feel like it's that important. But now I've just been, I don't know, I've just been thinking about it a lot. And I think it's crazy. You know, I'm glad that I was able to get rid of it, because usually those first like 3-4 days are hard. And I was tempted to do it last night. I was really tempted to do it last night. I was having a hard time sleeping, and I was like, yo, like I could get high right now and just crash out. But I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. You know, a huge part of life that is definitely like on your to your benefit is your will. If you have a strong will, and that comes in almost every aspect of life, you can control everything in life that revolves around you, whether that be emotional wellness, your health, and pretty much just like your spirituality and shit as well. Because, you know, it all depends on how strong your will is. Can you control what you put into your body, what you choose to feast your eyes on, and what you choose to pretty much involve in your life? I don't know, man. I guess we'll see. I'll try to make an update video on this in a couple days to see how else I feel. I think the longest I ever went without it was 4 months. But before that, I was smoking for like 3 years, and then I went back to it. So it's been a total of like 5 years since I've been getting high. About 5 years since I started getting high. I started getting high first when I turned 18, and I haven't been able to give it up fully, but I'm gonna try to give it up for at least a year, maybe longer. If I could keep going longer, I'm gonna keep going longer, because it definitely does help impair some of the aspects of your life. And I feel like in some it does help, but it's mainly cons than it is pros. So I'm just gonna keep it that way. But thanks for watching. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Smile you guys later.